Alright, everyone, get ready for the inside scoop, and trust me, it's hotter than a summer barbecue. The View has always been the daytime drama that keeps us hooked, where debates fly, opinions clash, and the controversy level is through the roof. That's what made it a must-watch for millions and solidified its place at the top of the talk show game. But now, thanks to Candace Cameron Bure spilling some serious tea, we get to peek behind the curtain and see what really went down behind those heated discussions. She's pulling back the veil on why the show sometimes feels more like a circus than a serious talk show. Get ready because we're diving straight into all the wild, messy details.
Wrong, because I don't know too much about The View, but I've seen definitely like some controversial clips online or on YouTube. Yeah. That's a primarily liberal audience.
Oh yeah, it is. That whole show started and it's called The View because it's supposed to be 5 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much one viewpoint.
That's what I picked up.
Yeah, there's usually like one token conservative. So I was that conservative for 2 years on this show.
But going into it, you knew that you were going to be that kind of token target.
Yeah.
Let's rewind for a second. Candace was on The View from 2015 to 2016 when it was still somewhat focused on lighter topics. Sure, there were disagreements, but it wasn't the full-blown political brawl it would later become. But, if you looked closely, the shift was happening like a slow-motion car crash you can't look away from. The producers decided to pivot and make every woman on the panel a political expert, whether they knew anything about politics or not. Fast forward to Trump's big entrance into the political scene, and suddenly, The View was all about delivering fiery anti-Trump content to keep the audience tuned in. But here's the question: if the drama was already brewing, why did Candace even sign on to this chaotic mess?
I tried to turn that job down.
Are you serious?
Multiple times.
That's so funny.
And I was like, I know they talk so much politics on the show and I'm not comfortable with that, so no. And then they came back and they were like, we're actually switching it. It's going to be more pop culture, more evergreen topics. We're not really going to talk about politics that much. And it was like, okay. And then I was like, well, I live in LA and I'm not moving to New York, so no. And they said, we'll fly you back and forth every week. We'll pay for the tickets every week.
The biggest open door.
They just kept upping the ante. Like everything I tried to say no to, they had a solution for.
It's clear the producers went in one direction but did a complete 180 once they realized politics could bring in those sweet ratings. Even Raven-Symoné, who co-hosted with Candace, shared her own experience in a way only Raven could. I thought I was joining a show about pop culture and fun, but instead, I got baited into this, she said. It was a major lesson learned. That pretty much sums it up, folks. This is a far cry from Barbara Walters' original dream for the show, which was supposed to be a space for diverse women from all walks of life to discuss everything from light topics to the occasional serious matter. But now, it's a full-on political battle zone where everyone seems to gang up on whoever dares to have a different opinion. Candace didn't hold back on the behind-the-scenes prep either. Let's just say the stories she's telling would make your jaw drop and your head spin.
How did you prepare for each and every episode?
Girl, I have never prepared like I have prepared for that show in my life, okay? You basically get a packet of about 80 topics the night before because they're all current events. They keep moving and changing, whatever happens in the news cycle. So I would spend probably a minimum of 4 hours each night researching all 80 topics so I could understand what I didn't understand.
Yeah.
And then on the morning of, with the hosts and the producers, they break it down. We go through all 80 topics and then pinpoint maybe 7 or 8 of those that we're actually going to discuss on the show.
This part right here really shines a light on why The View sometimes dishes out opinions so wild, they could probably be classified as a public safety concern. Scanning a few headlines the night before doesn't magically turn you into an expert. Sure, back in school, that might have helped you scrape by with a passing grade. But when you're on national TV, with millions watching, there's no room for pretending. You can spot the fakers immediately. When someone's expertise is limited to buzzwords and surface-level knowledge, you can bet they'll be throwing around clichés like confetti. They puff themselves up with false confidence, And just like that, you get the unmistakable "I have no clue what I'm talking about" vibe. It's become so predictable, we could probably make a drinking game out of it. And Candace didn't hold back on her take either. In other interviews, she laid out exactly what working on that show was like: no filters, no sugarcoating, just pure, chaotic truth.
I don't miss The View at all. I love being on talk shows. I love hosting talk shows,
Right.
but that was a hard job every single day in, day out, talking politics.
Yeah.
So-
And Christianity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my faith, that was the easiest part for me, to be able to talk about my faith and share my faith. But I'm happy right now not to be on that show and talk about lighter topics right now.
There was only one type of stress that I've ever felt in my life that came from that show. It was so difficult, and to manage that emotional stress was very, very hard. Felt like I was going into a show that I didn't have a clear opinion about, or nervous to talk about.
Meghan McCain dropped her own bombshell in a piece for Daily Mail. She talked about how she joined The View as the conservative voice, but little did they know, she wasn't what they expected. They thought they could tolerate a Republican, she said, but what they really couldn't handle was anyone with a viewpoint different from theirs. And let's be real, she's not wrong. That's basically the gig: be the token conservative, survive a daily battle where everyone else is ganging up on you, and somehow keep your cool while the audience just adds fuel to the fire. Every time you stray from the left's narrative, it's like the rest of the panel swoops in with eye rolls, interruptions, and conversation moves that could make a gymnast jealous. And the audience? They're like the unofficial fifth member of the team, ganging up with their own kind of gaslighting. Sure, they make bank, but is it worth the mental gymnastics? That's up for debate. Candace, too, opened up about how she managed this circus. Spoiler alert, her method probably explains why the conservative spot on the show is like a revolving door.
Different reactions when you're put under pressure. So they talk about fight or flight. Like, do you fight? Are you ready to go for it? Or do you want to take off? Like, you want to hide and you want to run? And I would say I am a flight person.
Really?
I don't love conflict. I'm not afraid of it. I like resolution. So I'm always happy to have the discussion because I like directness and I like resolution. But I'm not like, my gut reaction is not to fight with people. I want to take a hike. So with that, I think my disposition helped me in that when people really come at me, I don't get super riled up. Like, I don't put on the boxing glove.
There's no way anyone could survive an entire episode with Joy Behar and Sunny Hostin constantly talking over you, armed with recycled opinions and dramatic gestures. But honestly, these two might just be the reason the show won't last forever. What do you think? Are they secretly sabotaging the show, or is this all just part of the madness that keeps us watching? I'm dying to hear your thoughts. So, hit up the comments, and let's get into it. And hey, if you want your friends to get the real scoop from a channel that doesn't pull punches, go ahead and share this video. It really helps, and we appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around.